Alright, so the second part of 8-3 is our y-intercept and slope combining into a slope-intercept form, which looks like this. Y equals mx plus b. You guys are going to learn to love this style of equation because it's very easy to graph an equation if I have it in this format, where I've got my y by itself equaling something times x plus something. So my something times x, that's always my slope, or how slanted my line is. My b is the y-intercept, or where the line crosses the y-intercept, or excuse me, the y-axis. So on a graph like this one, like our example from earlier, my y-intercept would be right here where the line crosses the y-axis. So if this is the y-axis, I would say that my y-intercept would be 5, because that's at positive 5, this line goes through there. So here's what I'm talking about. We can use this format to help us graph right away. My first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a point at positive 2, because I know that at positive 2 on this graph, if you can't see it, here's my graph paper. At this point right here, at positive 2, my line, however it looks, is going to cross the y-axis. So I'm going to put a spot there. Now, like what we said earlier, my slope, if I know my slope and I know one point, I know the next point by following the slope. So I've got -1 over 3, meaning it's going to go vertical change of -1, horizontal change of 3. So I'm going to keep that in mind. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to say -1, which is like down 1. So I'm going to go down 1 over 3. 1, 2, 3. Put my point right here. And let's do another one. So from this point, I'm going to go down 1 over 3. 1, 2, 3. And so I'm going to place a dot right there. Now what I can do is connect the dots. I'm going to grab a ruler. I'm going to grab my pen that I'm still holding. And when I'm going to draw a line through those points. So the black line here is my graph of this whole equation. That means every point here are solutions for this equation, meaning I can plug in 0, 2, and that would make this equation true. I can plug in, let's see, that's positive 3 up 1. So I can plug in 3, and my answer is going to be 1. Now, like what just happened, don't confuse slope and just normally graphing points, right? Slope is the rise over the run. All right, so let's do another one of those real quick. So here's my new equation. Y equals x plus 4. Now remember, I don't have anything multiplied to x, but I can write, there's only one x, so that's going to be my slope. Remember, 1 can be the same as 1 over 1. So if I want to, I can write 1 over 1x plus 4. So on my graph up here, my y-intercept, it's going to cross at 4. I'm going to go over here, find 4, place a dot. Then I'm going to go up 1 and over 1 for my slope. John, you walked in and you're going to watch this later, so it's kind of like a Twilight moment here. Up 1 over 1. Because my slope says up 1 over 1, my next point can be up 1 over 1. I have my 3 dots. I'm going to graph these. John, you're not saying anything?
What up, guys?
All right, thank you.
How's it going? Gonna leave now.
It's going well because we're all learning math together.
Yep.
So my y-intercept was positive 4. My slope is up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1. And so here is my line going through those points. And that's how you graph using the slope-intercept form. Now, if you don't have an equation in slope-intercept, for example, if you had something like 3y equals x plus 2, you would have to solve for your y, because it has to be y by itself equals something times x plus b. All right, guys, have fun.